Hello and good morning. Thank you for joining me for this quick training in which we will discuss the recent emissions scandal, the impact it has had on the company so far, challenges to the HR function, some proposed solutions to those challenges, some risks and risk mitigation, costs and benefits, and measurements of success or failure of the proposed solutions. So, a quick recap here. On September 22nd, 2015, which is about 2 weeks ago, we were faced with a notice of violation of the Clean Air Act from the Environmental Protection Agency. The violation stemmed from intentional programming of turbocharged direct injection diesel engines that activated specific emissions controls for the purpose of regulating outputs to the United States regulatory standards during laboratory testing. Unfortunately, our realistic outputs were up to 40 times greater than the amount shown in laboratory emissions testing. This has affected 11 million vehicles worldwide, with about 500,000 in the United States. The model years were 2009 to 2015 of Volkswagen and Audi vehicles. So there are some major impacts that this has had on the Volkswagen Group of America. The first would be financial. $7.3 billion to rectify the situation and recall vehicles in the United States. We're going to need a complete brand overhaul to avoid further concerns. Stock prices have decreased 1/3 in just days following this scandal. I also would say that there will be a decrease in car sales, causing decreased revenues. The second impact this has is the threat to our reputation. Our best employees have and will continue to leave. Our brand has now been seen as deceitful, and we've lost the trust of our stockholders, employees, and customers. Okay, so I'm going to discuss 5 challenges to the HR function. The first is employee retention. Turnover will increase due to the employees feeling deceived by the company. They're perceiving that the company is not financially stable and cannot pay or compensate effectively. Also feeling a lack of engagement and pride for their company due to media scrutiny and word of mouth. Talented employees will easily be able to find jobs elsewhere. The second challenge is recruitment. Recruitment will become more difficult because our reputation has taken a hit. There's a large amount of continuing negative attention in the media, and potential employees may fear financial instability of the company. Our third challenge is going to be employee engagement. Employee engagement has decreased due to this incident. Employees are no longer proud of the company that they work for. They feel deceived by a lack of honesty within the company and unsure about the financial stability and future of the company. The fourth is strategic HR management. Policies and procedures that are put into place to assure ethical decisions were made in regards to the company's strategic goals were ignored by top management. Unfortunately, employees feel that the mission of the company is do as we say, not as we do. The current policies and procedures as they relate to ethics and decision making was ignored by top management. Training. Unfortunately, training was inadequate to prevent a major ethical dilemma, resulting in a scandal of this magnitude. Employees may feel training was a mere formality, not taken seriously, and ethics training and training of management is inadequate. Okay, so what exactly can we do with these challenges here? At this time, ethics training and retraining is going to be necessary. The company will benefit because this may assist in retaining employees. A publicized push of this focus may help with recruitment. And policies and procedures that come from or help shape the ethics training will target existing and new strategic aims of the company, assisting with that strategic HR management concern. Managerial training is the second suggestion I would have. The scandal has been seen publicly and within the company as a failure of management. The old CEO has already resigned and been replaced. Upper management needs to be retrained to assure an incident of this nature will not occur again. The third training is organizational change. Training and leadership through an organizational change process will be important, especially following a scandal and the resignation of the previous CEO and hiring a new CEO within such a short period of time. Okay. Another solution would be compensation and benefits. Unfortunately, we're going to see people leaving the company and people who don't want to work for the company because of our reputation at this time. So now it's really important to ensure that employees in the company know that it's financially sound, their work is appreciated. This will increase their engagement. Competitive compensation and benefits may be positive when recruiting, and employees would benefit from some work-life balance, so that should be addressed as well. We should also revise or add new policies. Ethics obviously need to be addressed further, and there need to be clear and honest policies and procedures that allow a person to feel comfortable to whistleblow in the case of ethical concerns. So, as always, there's going to be risks associated with the implementation of the solutions I have just proposed. The first would be training risks. Is anyone going to trust HR, or is HR going to be seen as part of the problem here? So this is a concern. Anything coming from HR, policies and procedures, trainings, not sure how employees will handle this. Also, training is only as good as the employees that you're training. If they're not ethical people, not moral people, then they're not going to really care what the training has to say. Management training may be ineffective due to lack of engagement, which is an effect of the reputation of the company. Risks for benefits and compensation include that the company is taking a large hit financially and they don't want to overextend themselves at this point. The attention to a financial compensation and benefits may appear to be a band-aid for the larger issue. Employees may find that they can find companies that may have an equivalent or a little bit less compensation, that have a better reputation, that feel more stable. Okay. The risk for the revised policies and procedures would be the same as I stated before with the training. HR may be perceived as part of the problem. General risks that are very important here. The incident has completely shattered the company's reputation at this time. It is a strong possibility that even if all the right steps are taken to fix our image, people will continue to boycott, badmouth, or refuse to support our company for years to come. Employee retention and recruitment may be harder to address due to the reputation of the company, and most effects will not be immediate, and the repair of the company's reputation through action is just as important as the HR functions that need to be addressed. Okay. The best way to mitigate risks following this incident is for the company to constantly strive to improve its reputation. All promised recalls and company overhaul need to be completed quickly. Changes need to be appropriate and transparent. The HR department needs to be seen as an ally to other employees for trainings and policies and procedures to be taken seriously. Employees need to feel safe and secure in an effort to retain and engage. This needs to come from HR, CEO, and upper management. Collaboration with an outside agency to create trainings is necessary at this time. HR will probably not be able to specialize with this situation, and outside help is needed. Also, consistent employee feedback is necessary. So there's going to be costs and benefits. These will be discussed further in the paper that I'm handing out, but I just want to state that due to the nature of the incident leading to this proposal, it is necessary to note that many projected benefits will not necessarily be of a financial nature. The benefits associated with rebuilding the reputation of a company are more than financial. They extend to the future success or failure of the company as a whole, future sales through word of mouth and referral, the talent that associates with and is employed by our agency, the trust of the stockholders, employees, and customers. Can't always put a number on these things. So there's going to be training costs, compensation and benefits costs, recruitment costs, and policy and procedures costs. These costs are going to mainly be the cost of the time for HR to create, analyze, implement these procedures. Okay, next I'm going to talk about benefits here. So the benefits, again, are not necessarily going to be largely financial. The main benefit that will come from the proposal is the rebuilding of the company's name and reputation. Other benefits include employee retention, lower costs associated with hiring new employees, also employee engagement. Employees will regain their trust and respect for the company and will enjoy working for the company again. Increased sales. When the company's reputation rebuilds, sales will likely increase. Realistically, do not expect the same level of sales for quite a while because the reputation is not going to increase dramatically quickly. Increased stock prices should eventually go back up, and more solid staffing through recruitment. Okay, measurement of impact we are going to, for employee retention, use the turnover rate. Employee recruitment, we're going to track time to hire and number of vacancies. Through employee engagement, we're going to use employee feedback and quality of work. Unfortunately, these may not be 100% effective, which you will see more in the paper handout that I'm going to give you. For strategic human resources management, again, going to be hard to quantify. HR will have to look at the agency as a whole, decide whether their policies are working correctly. They will also be able to get employee feedback from this. Training, again, is hard to quantify. Quizzes and tests can be given at the end of the ethics training and annually. People who do unethical things can still pass that test. Feedback from employees at the end of the trainings may provide insight. You may want to provide those feedback paperwork maybe a day later so that they're not ready to go for the